Okay. Yeah. Nothing happened. PTO engaged. Sounded like it engaged good and solid. Try again. No. And we're back for a new and fantabulous day. So one of two things is happening. Possibility one, the PTO being a larger pulley requires more effort to turn, and the engine can't overcome it. Possibility two, there's a safety shutting the mower down when we turn on the PTO. Let's explore that theory. Okay, so let's verify the customer concern first. Trying it again. Ow! Forgot my PTO engagement tool. Nope. Verification step number 2. I'm going to disconnect the PTO from its harness, and we're going to start the engine back up, and we'll see if I can turn that switch on and the engine keeps going. Okay, well there we have it. Oh, come on. Okay, so there we have it. We have a safety that is shutting us off. Holy smokes. I always pick the best times of the day to record. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the smart thing, and we're going to bypass the switch and run it directly to the battery. And by smart, I mean, it's not really smart. Again, this is just a simple test. We're not going to run it long because the belt is interfering in a couple spots. The cold side engaged. We have the hot side engaged, toasty, and chilly. Okay, I'm going to sit on the mower in the event something goes catastrophically flying. Hopefully it won't fly upward and it goes outward. And start her up. And start her up. We're going to do this at low speed. Working. Definitely loaded down. Oh my goodness. It works. It actually works. I mean, why wouldn't it work? The real question here is whether or not we're getting slippage, especially when we're moving under load, and whether or not we'll have longevity out of the PTO. Regardless, it works, which means it's spinning it faster than that stock little dinky pulley. Have you seen this thing? It's miniature. Completely miniature. I don't understand why they made it so small. Unless that was really to get the target RPM input to the transaxle. Tighten, buddy. Take your stick, your snowy stick. Off you go. I don't know, I'm kind of excited now. I feel like it's part of my moral code that we have to at least try to move a little bit. Just a little bit. Not a lot of it. Protective glove. Engaged. PTO is currently live. Here we go. It's already way faster. And I wasn't even at high RPM there. Come with me. Oh, look at those headlights. How beautiful is that? Look at the puppy. Nope. Let's just start in gear. Oh man, what a fantastic day. So I think part of the problem as well is that the belt is partially rubbing on the crossover for the brake pedal and also the hydrostatic lever and somewhere else. So that's also loading down the engine more, I imagine, than just the drive itself. But speaking of drive, it drives. I'm sure none of you are shocked that it would move. Where's my other glove? There it is. I'm sure none of you are shocked that it does move under its own power, but I don't know. How fun is that? So our next step, we need to get the belt clearing everything, and I also want to run a couple tests. I'm going to take a paint pen, and I'm going to paint lines on different locations on the pulley where the top part is that's always spinning with the engine, and the bottom part that spins only when you engage the PTO. And then we're going to do a slow motion recording of the PTO engaged, and we're going to see if those lines are moving in relation to each other. That way we'll know if we're getting slippage and if we're going to burn it up. And then we'll probably keep running it that way. And we're back. It's going to be a fantastic day today. Let's get the butt of this thing up in the air. All right, 3 points of contact. So I took a look underneath real quick, and I think we can find a way to move the belt. There's only one place that really needs to be relocated, and I think what I'm going to do is tip the tractor on its side, actually. Thank you for that shard of leaf. Go ahead and pull our battery so I can close the hood without worrying about short-circuiting it. Let's see, how can we safely... Okay. I think we're sort of stable. Here's what's going on. We have a pretty steep angle of approach going to the pulley. The belt is riding on the wrong surface. Second problem. So there's our transmission pulley to the Eaton 700-003 hydrostat. And it goes from there up and over. It's going in front of this pulley, which is 100% where it should not be. It needs to be on that pulley, I believe. But there's such a steep angle going to the drive that I don't know. Maybe we can reroute it somehow? I'm going to think about this for a little bit. So by some miracle, I did get that belt to go on the surface of that pulley. Now the question is, thank you, Titan. The question is it going to stay there? The other issue I'm having is that this belt is so worn out that it keeps wanting to ride on the wrong surface here inside the PTO there. Is that the end of the world? Probably not. So we're just going to kind of go with it. But I did forget this guy here. We do have a problem here. I'm going to poke around some more and we'll see what I can come up with or can't come up with. Okay, just want to give you guys an update. So I took this pulley that belonged here and sat way up yonder. I removed it because I want to see if I can take this post, unthread it, move it over here, so that it protrudes down, and maybe we can snag this belt up into here a little bit. I also pushed the PTO up a little bit higher. It looks like it's touching the steering rod, but it's actually not. I'm gonna pop this pulley off here, see if I can move this stud over there, and maybe we'll just get lucky. Yeah, you know what? I figured if you're bored, tag along for the ride. Otherwise, feel free to skip ahead. But, oh yeah. Oh no, okay. Oh, that's not great. I thought that collar was a hex shape, but this looks like must be a stud. Yep, that's a stud. That's not getting moved. Oh, that's a little disappointing. I'm getting grease and oil everywhere. This belt has been shredding itself for a very long time. Oh well, let's pull this guy off. See if there's any hidden possibilities. Okay, got a little spacer on top. Pretty standard pulley. Of course, this one can be adjusted. Interesting. Man. All right, Choo Choo, we hear ya. You know what? I have an idea. So here's what I'm thinking. I have a whole bunch of hardware left over from our tents, those big dumb green tents that we have out there, and they have a square shoulder on them just like that. And I have some of multiple lengths. I just wonder if we can pull this plate off, pop that guy out of there, get one of those shoulder bolts, and get it to the proper length where I can get a pulley right down here, and that way we could get the belt to maybe sit up inside of one of these pulleys. Let's see what happens. Nope. There's so much debris on this tractor in the form of belt shavings. I can't tell what the heck is what. You know what? This is going to be metric. It is. Because I grabbed my standard sockets and I said to myself, you know what? I have this one viewer and he cracks me up because he likes to come over and tell me that oh, no, never mind. Anyway, he's a funny guy. Every once in a while he pops in and says, you know, older machines are going to use standard and newer machines, they'll use metric. And then that's about all he says. Oh, it's a bolt. Okay, that could be good or bad. I guess we'll find out. All right, this one's a nut, I believe. Cross your fingers. Oh no. Maybe it's because it's an engine hold down bolt. It is. All right, I have my wrench just resting on there. Haha! That is gross. Holy smokes. Can't see anything because there's a frickin' light in the way. All right, so there's our hold down. Like I said, this one's a stud. I can't get it out. And this guy is our shoulder style. So let's go cross our fingers that I have shoulder bolts of this diameter. So I'm diving through my hardware bucket here. This is what I was hoping to use. These go in the tent, but it's not the right diameter. And the shoulder is too small, so it doesn't grip like it's supposed to. I found this one that's slightly longer. So I'm just creeping through the pile, keeping my fingers crossed, and I'll let you know if I find something. Well, I was starting to give up hope. I had found this, it's too small. That one's a little bit longer, but still too short. I found these and I thought, maybe there's a way I can rig it up. But then I opened a different parts container and I found this. Oh yes. It's the Guinness Book of World Records longest shoulder bolt. And it is the right size. It is the right thread pitch. And I even bet, this red little washer will fit on here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in business. And I am thoroughly excited. I'm not even going to cut it. We're going to leave it gigantic, and we're going to see how it works. Let the installation commence. I'm guessing the grooved pulley is probably going to be best. Why is that fitting like that? Did I lose a piece? I think I lost the middle of it. Oh, well, there's part of it. It's an adapter that goes in there like so. Okay, so where's the adapter for the other side? Unless it was the spacer. No. Oh, great. I don't remember it ever having a piece on the top, just the bottom. All right, so I think they were using this little spacer as the top adapter, so I just kind of tapped it in there with a hammer. We're gonna end up doing something like this with a piece of pipe so that we can get our right spacing. In fact, that might be a good spacing right there. Let's try it out. Wow. Folks, this might actually work. Kind of freaking out right now. First of all, let's anchor our plate into place. All right, we're gonna need to hold the other side while tightening that one down. Comes number 2. There's number 2. And now, let's get this guy tightened up. So I'm gonna add an additional washer for happiness sake. We're gonna leave this length of thread on here. I'm gonna have to get a pass-through wrench. That's funny right there. I don't care who you are. Right, now we gotta pull it down. There we go. And we're out of socket. Also, I just realized the frickin' hot tub's been on for quite a while. And so that's gonna be great for the camera audio. I apologize ahead of time. Oh, work with me here. I guess the next step is to test it out. I just gotta say, one of the biggest challenges I have always had when it comes to small engine stuff is finding a substitute crank bolt. And you would think I'd have something around here with the same size thread pitch. No, I don't. I ran into the same issue when we did the vertical to horizontal conversion, and it's just frustrating. In all this junk that I have laying around, I can't find a stubby bolt with this thread pitch. Okay, so after searching high and low, I found a similar bolt. The threads are so close to being not close, but it's not perfect. Metric, standard. Surprise, surprise. Pulled out my cheap tap and die kit. This is a 1.5 in the metric world. So we're gonna do something weird. We are gonna take this bolt that's close to being close, but not quite close, and we are going to change its pitch. Looks like these threads need some cleaning up anyway on this bolt. For those of you that are squeamish, feel free to turn away. Alrighty, let's see how it goes, or it doesn't go. I mean, it's, like I said, it's so close that it practically fits on there. Practically. We'll see how this turns out, if it turns out. And we'll flip it over just for good measure and do it the wrong side. We'll see if that did anything at all. In you go, little guy. Wow. It does. Alright, well, that's exciting. A couple of washers and we'll send it home. You want to know something amazing? Let me see how I can phrase this. The inner diameter of the PTO is only this long. So right now, I am trying to get it to go up further, but it's hitting a natural shoulder on the inside of the PTO, which just so happens to be perfectly spaced away from our steering linkage. I mean, I knew that, and I completely planned it the entire time. So yes, you should also do your research and do measurements as well when you are installing stuff. It will be extremely helpful in the future. For real though, had no idea. That's totally awesome is what it is. Okay, so it was still a little bit long, but yeah, baby. We're getting closer. Side note, check out this cool feature. It's like the tensioner on a vehicle. So it's always in tension, which means I'm not really worried anymore about having a PTO as my drive system, because the original drive system would have been exactly the same, essentially always spinning. And when you hit the brake, it also puts the hydrostatic lever into a neutral position. So, you know, if I ever freak out and something won't disengage, then I just hit the brake pedal and we're good to go. Whew, get a better idea of the angle this thing's been tilted at. From back here, anyway. Oh my gosh. Need a serious garage overhaul pretty soon here, because it's making me anxious. Yeah, where are you? Thank you. Get out of there. Come on now, you goofball. Alright, nice and easy. That's gonna start hitting me in the head. Stay. Stay. Beautiful. Oh my. It's sunny outside, I can't be angry. Alrighty, wheeled it out here so we have a little bit of a better view, a little more light. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's go try it out. Okay, so it's probably not that much faster. Probably not. Let's go do a speed test. Here we go. Well, that sucks. And we threw the belt. Oh man, we are just self-destructing. Nope. Nope. We didn't throw the belt. We had a piece of the old falling apart belt. Decided that it was going to turn into a slingshot and tear our lead right back out of the PTO. How extremely disappointing. Well, here we are again. I don't even know what to say. It's very disappointing. It really is. Obviously the PTO option isn't a good one because the belt angles are too steep, regardless of the fact that that belt was trash to begin with. So, now what do we do? Welcome back, folks. It is a new and more optimistic day. Sorry, always had a hard time with defeat. Thought I had something good going on. I think I still do. It makes it a little bit faster, not a lot faster, but it'll be the fastest mower in my fleet. It'll be the Ultimower of my fleet of 3. Anyway, I have pulled off the PTO. I have resoldered the PTO, and I'm going to reinstall the PTO. And then we're going to find a better way to keep the belt on. Yeah, let's keep on keeping on. Here's my nemesis, and just to show you, we're still in business. Well, we're back in business. I soldered this on here. Feels really good. Nice and tight. It's not bendy and floppy like it's going to fall off in 3 to 5 minutes. So let's not melt my leads and unplug the soldering iron. This scene also looks familiar. How strange. I found a few belts that I'm hoping could be potential candidates, although I question the condition those are in as well. There we go. This one does not look a whole lot better. It looks better than the one that's shredding. What's next? How about this one? Wow, I am striking it lucky today. That guy's gonna be too long. This last one I checked out looks really good for the most part. Ultimately, what's going to happen is we're going to have to use our extra pulley somewhere along this chain to keep the belt from coming off here on this pulley in the back. Okay, I just, holy cow. I found that light when we moved into this house. It belonged to the previous owner, and so he's probably haunting me right now. Okay. Potentially more promising, although it seems a bit on the stiff side. Yeah, so that's about the same size as the last one. The reason it's going to be extra tight is because it actually has the proper amount of thickness, unlike our other one, which is worn super thin. So the belt is on there, right? And I have it up over our pesky, not so willing to cooperate pulley back here. But you see that angle of attack, right? Actually, that's not the angle of attack, that's the angle of return. Everything before that is just fine. The tension is okay. Our pulley still does apply and release tension, which means we're not too tight. So what I'm thinking, which I know, it's extremely dangerous. I'm thinking we're going to take this little guy that we have left over, and we're going to attach him in one of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes. And we're going to have him be another idler. That's going to help push the belt that direction, keep it on our not so willing to cooperate pulley, and it's very possible that Robert may just become our uncle. All right, cross your fingers. All right, folks. You remember this long buddy? Well, I found his brother. I wanted to use that little guy, but that little guy didn't give me enough drop. I needed the pulley to go down further, so I ended up using the pipe spacer like we did over here. I just cut it with, your typical conduit cutter. Put a washer and a nut on here, and then on the top side, I had to pull off this big dumb cover, which, as we now know, actually is used to stop the engine as a ground. Tuck the head of the bolt in here. I used 2 washers underneath it because it is a square shoulder bolt like the other one is. And I needed it to sit flush and square. So now we can move this guy this direction. And it doesn't look like it wants to come off that little fella in the back. I guess the only option now is start it up. Okay, folks, here's the scoop. PTO is tight. Belt is on, belt is tight. Cover is back on, so we can actually shut the engine off with the key and not try to freak out and figure out what the problem is. New pulleys are in place. Belt is routed correctly. Oh man. We have a fat pony that needs to be watered, fed, and his stall cleaned. The Ultimower must take us there. Let's go. Choke. Ignition. I killed the battery last time because I left it on the whole time. I was pushing it back to the garage. Alright. Gulu. Cranked for 30 seconds. Oh, no. What is this? The battery's not dead. The stinking bulb fell out of its bulb spot for the engine oil light. We need to be more careful. Yeah, we're fine. Should probably get the frozen snot off of my face. Nobody likes a snotty YouTuber. YouTuber. I am definitely not a YouTuber. I just like to play. I do. It's getting a little slippery out there. Actually, it's really slippery because I cleared the driveway the other day and then it all froze. It was 47 degrees yesterday and partly cloudy. And today, well, it's not. It is going to be absolutely beautiful, though, once it lands on all the trees. It's 33 degrees, so it's sticking to absolutely everything. Oh wow, it even muffled the noise from that vehicle. Traffic. Dudes and dudettes. This little monster just made its way through a bunch of wet, heavy snow. Not a bunch, I mean, we got a couple inches, but when you're moving it from one side to the other, over and over again, that very last swipe is super heavy. And this little guy plows right through it. This has got to be one of the best snowblowers, if not the best little snowblower I've ever had. And I attribute that to not having a chute, because what happens when you have a chute and you got a bunch of heavy snow? It plugs. Every time. This little guy, because it has the vanes, they don't really get plugged. They just kind of clear themselves out. I almost feel guilty for keeping it after finding it on the side of the road and fixing it up. Almost. Ah, the lights. Blinding. I do smell what I would consider not the best of hot smells. Whether that's the PTO roasting itself or the dry belt, I'm not really sure. Time will tell. And go. Well, it feels a lot faster than 6. Maybe we're like 6.98. Let's turn around and try again. Okay, so we touched 7. Is there a fat little pony over here? Yeah? You want some hay? I know. Getting fed twice a day. It's a rough life. Yeah, you're still in pony jail, aren't you? Yeah, you're pretty cute. Cute little pain in my butt. All right, back to it. We got a pony to save. Well, I've driven back and forth to the house a few times. The belt is staying where it's supposed to. I can't say that it's running through the V's like it should be, but it kind of turns a little bit sideways when it's going through the front main pulley, the PTO, but I don't know. Time, like I said, time will tell. That belt is also extremely old. It may just deteriorate and die. We'll have to get a brand new one that's a little more supple. Such a weird word. You could just say soft. Why say supple? Are you abused because you're stuck in here? Yeah, I know. So you may think it's not really fair to the fat pony to keep him in here, but here's the scoop. This is what's called a food or a feeding muzzle. It has, I know it's going to be fuzzy, it has a little teeny hole in it. And what you do, put this on your horse, it has to root around a lot more to get any hay to eat. Problem is, we can't keep it on him. I have tried all sorts of different adjustments. It falls off, he pulls it off. Somebody else helps him take it off. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a thing. He goes to town and eats. So why does a horse not want to get super fat? Horses are weird. If they get too fat, they can have a condition that occurs which is called founder. I don't really know why. I'm not the horse expert. That would be my wife's territory. But what happens is they get sensitive condition in their hoofs. So if he were to continue to stay super fat and continue eating and get fatter and fatter, there's a risk that he could founder, which is extremely painful to the horse. You'll see them tiptoe around like they can barely move. Wintertime is a great time for him to lose weight. His body is going to use more heat to stay warm, so he's going to burn more calories, he's going to lose some weight. He was huge. The vet referred to him as a little marshmallow. He comes out every once in a while, gets to run around, gets to roll, have a little fun with his herd out there. So he stays in here, and he doesn't really like it. He wants to be with his friends. But health over, well, health. I don't really know what else to say about that. So we come in here, we give him itchies, scoop out his poo. He has access to water over here. We've got a wired heated bucket so that it doesn't freeze. Just like all his buddies out there, their giant 55-gallon troughs have heated elements in them as well. You gotta make sure this strap is up because his little butt will try to get out and go see all of his friends. Won't you? Yeah? You go see all your friends? Hmm? This is Comet, by the way. We have a whole celestial theme going on. We have Comet, and then we have Stella for interstellar, and then we have Cosmo for infinite cosmos, and then we have Cupid. Cupid is a star, Comet and Cupid. I know that's kind of weird. Our cats are Cleo for Cleopatra, which is some constellation somewhere, and then we have Apollo. Our dogs are Titan and Hercules. There you go. Here comes dinner. All right, well, that is your horse lesson for the day. So what are we going to do with this little beauty next? We'll fix the switch that actually turns the PTO on and off, because I would like to use the factory switch. Although it's broken, we're going to have to replace it. I don't know. I'm excited. It's the fastest mower I have in the fleet, which is not that fast. There are plenty of other YouTubers out there that do like snowmobile engine swaps and all kinds of crazy stuff like that. Side note, something cool about the Eaton 700-003. When you bring it toward neutral, it creates a braking action. I think most hydrostats are like that. So although the brakes are super floppy, I hit that brake pedal earlier today and it locked up the rear wheels. Not too worried about that, and that's a good thing. Side note number 2. All the fins are broken off the driven pulley that's located on the hydrostatic transmission itself. I thought it'd be cool to find some fittings that would fit the fill and drain plug on the transmission, tie them to a radiator that I purchased for my 95 Ford Bronco that I tried to burn to the ground while abusing it off-road. It's a little guy for the transmission that I bought, and thought it'd be cool to tie that into the system, maybe find a little pump so we get like extreme transmission cooling, because a hot transmission is a dying transmission. I don't know, I'm just spouting off things that may or may not happen, but let's take another little drive and get a little exercise in the system. Key, lights, because you know it's so dark out here, and go. Well, folks, we made it quite a few laps, and everyone was having a good time, and then slap, 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 and that was that. I'm still not convinced that it's the belt routing. I think that belt was probably, if I had to guess, upwards of 30 years old. So we'll do an inspection once I get it back, but we need a rescue vehicle to tow that little beauty back because I'm not pushing it through the ice and snow all the way back to the house. So let's go do a recovery. You guys remember this beauty, right? Yeah, this is one of my first early-ish on tractor revivals. She'd been sitting a long time, and she's been sitting for probably 6 months, and I'm pretty sure the tank is full of old nasty gas because the last time I ran it with that nasty gas, it smelled horrible. Sorry about the camera angle, but I didn't bring the tripod. Pretty sure my screwdriver will be an adequate key for this. Oh yeah. All right. Choke. Pretty sure that's choke. Ignition. Oh yeah. No. That was short-lived. Gulu out of battery. You're joking, right? You just said you had a full charge. This is crap. Stop flashing in my face. You're making me angry. No. Guess that's what happens when it's 20 degrees outside. Now what do I do? Okay, perfect. I don't suppose this mower has any juice. If I had to guess, it's probably dead. Oh my, that is bright. You guys think this will start? I sure as heck don't. Full choke, brake, and go. Oh, baby, you can do it. Yes! No. Celebrate too early. This will be interesting. Still has a mower deck on it. Oh, we're gonna get stuck. I need a tow strap. Alrighty, we'll see how strong this armrest is. Attached to here, got the extra strap wrapped around here, keeping the steering wheel straight, and then we got the big heavy load in the back. Alright, let's see what we can do here. And we're sliding, because we're on a sheet of ice. Oh yeah, baby. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, baby. All right, I'm gonna focus on this. I'll see you soon. My wife always jokes with me, if I can run out of gas in a mower, I will run out of gas in a mower. Can't believe I found that. Lost. Again. Good. You know, I was attempting to prevent my plaque from shifting by getting a tow rig. Should have just pushed this thing all the way back. Because the adorable turf tires on that Cub are about as useful as... So anyway, let's get that belt off and give it a quick inspection. Yeah, so I'm sticking with my original theory that the belt was just old, because that's the only way I'm going to justify feeling good about the work I'm putting into this. But yeah, it was not cracked like this before. Pretty sure what's going to make me sleep and feel good at night. She was just old and tired, and that was that. I'm sure there's zero identification on this. Oh yeah, look at that. Perfectly legible. Oh good. Battery too low for flash. Okay, well, we're good to go. And we're back for a grand delicious day. So what are we gonna do? I wanna work on that switch. I would like the switch to actually function and allow us to turn the PTO on and off with the engine running. So let's give it a shot. Step 1, remove the big dumb electrical cover to expose the wiring. You guys having a good day today? Well, that's good. Yeah, I totally understand that though. At least the weekend's here. Okay, big dumb cover is open. Holy crud. Look at all the wires that go into this switch. Holy smokes. The winch control got me in the gourd. Knew it was going to happen, but that's okay. That is okay. So here's what I'm thinking we need to do. I'm thinking, well, that's my favorite light. Yes. We'll unplug the back of this ridiculous switch. I can't believe all the... And we're going to figure out what goes where and who does what. Well, I'm not sure what's happening. We have 2 wires that are standalone on this switch, and then we have the rest in this plug here. This cluster plug, we'll call it. I'm going to take a few minutes to trace these out so that I don't record a bunch of stuff that will make you even more bored than you already are. Okay, folks, I have some good news. Find out when we do a real test. But, so I was tracing these wires, right? You've got the orange one, comes down to this orange one down here that goes underneath the body of the beast, and that goes to the brake switch. I am okay with the brake switch still operating and not allowing you to crank without the brake on. Next, I found this wire ties into the bundle of other wires that goes to this fuse. We know that that works because when we initially turned on the headlight, we popped the fuse. That fuse was old, that's what I'm telling myself, and I may or may not have put a slightly larger fuse in there. We'll see how the rest of that goes. Next, I followed this blue wire, which may or may not be unseated from its home, back to the ignition, and thought to myself, you know what? I wonder if that blue wire grounds out part of the system when you turn on the PTO. Where does the purple wire go? I didn't trace the purple wire. Oh, that one also goes down here. That one goes down underneath as well. Where does it go? Oh, come on, light. Oh, you're angry at me, aren't you? I haven't been the nicest of dads. Okay, what I don't need is a seizure. Thank you. Well, I was wrong. The purple wire goes to the brake switch. No, it doesn't. Oh, look at that. Gosh dang it. Wake up. Come on. Oh, well, you know what helps is when you screw in the light bulb. All right, I'll edit that out for another day. Okay, anyway. Okay, so the orange one actually goes back to the seat switch, which has been jumpered out already. The purple and blue, they go down to the brake switch. Okay, so then we got that all taken care of. Yeah, it's jumpered out. Okay, so we know the brake switch works. We know the seat switch. We know the seat switch is jumpered out. So then why would it shut itself off? I don't know, but we're gonna go ahead and do this. Oops, that accidentally fell out. Don't ask me why, but I decided, you know what? That jumpers directly from that side of the switch over to here to the ignition switch. I wonder if that's what's preventing us from turning it on. So I just gave it a little tension and it pulled right out, and I didn't even mean to do it. But by some strange luck, well, we have some luck. Observe. Check this out. This is the funny part. You turn on the PTO, turn on your ignition switch. You can hear it doing stuff, right? But then let's try to start it. We've fixed the issue of cranking, unless this freaks out when I ground it out. Let's put that wire back. Touch it to ground. No. Interesting. So, by plucking that blue wire from the ignition switch, we have now enabled a safety where you can't crank with the PTO turned on. And we've also eliminated the issue of turning the PTO on while the engine's running. So we're going to go ahead and take that blue wire and we're going to wrap it in some tape. Ignore the fact that we don't actually know what we just did. I don't know. You know what actually will be better than tape is a, what are they called? A wire net. Yes. I've been working on the wheel horse for way too freaking long. The audience is so bored. They're going to form a horde. Don't you see them storming? Aaron, run for the hills before somebody gets a handshake of happiness and joy. I know. Need to quit my day job and start that band and expand my singing career. I also have some good news. We have one more belt that we can put on there and shred. This one looks pretty freaking terrible too. It's shedding its strings that hold it together. But maybe if we install it upside down, it'll work better. Yeah, that's it. That'll fix it. I wish that I had some type of switch I could replace that with. The problem is it has all those wires tied into the back of it. I mean, we could just run hot wires directly to the PTO and call it a day, but I was hoping to make the sweet little aircraft on-off switch function. We're going to stick to a screwdriver for now. Speaking of screwdriver, you know what else we should do is find some frickin' hardware to keep those wires on without vice grips. Good news. Found a couple of bolts, which ironically just happened to be traffic. Which ironically came with our headlight, and since we're not using them, they are lovely battery cable wires. Still have good continuity. Also, you know those caps that they put on top of all those spray cans that you buy? I'm pretty sure these are going to make fantastically protective shields so we don't short circuit across our hood. I'm going to go ahead and cut a notch in the side so it slides nice and snug on the cable there. Okay, just took a box cutter, cut a slit in it. Should fit nice and tight on there, like so, sort of. We'll see how long that lasts. There we go. That didn't crack at all. No, what do you know? That's the positive side. But that's okay. If it shorts out, we'll know pretty quickly. I'll bring an eye wash station with me. We're going to close this baby up. Get out of there. Close enough. And I'm going to throw that third belt on, and then we'll go for a ride yet again. Now that we have the PTO fixed, aside from the switch, which I'll have to figure out later, I think it would be fun to add a throttle cable to this thing. So here's our governor linkage, right? I found this cable, and I took it off. You remember when I did that engine swap, those two mowers? And kind of made a Franken mower. The other mower that has no engine, and this little guy came off of it, and the cable moves extremely well through it. So I think I'm going to drill a hole up here in the top of the governor linkage. We're going to scoop that guy in there just like that, and then there's this little holder right here. I think we can go in this hole. And the reason I want this amount of cable sticking out is because I can take my foot off the throttle and I could use the regular linkage here to set like a cruise control. I know, ridiculous, right? But I could use the throttle here to set the cruise, and the governor would still have the freedom to move however it wanted and just let the cable flex. But I don't really want the cable to just, let's see, where are you? You'd be right there. This cable would stick way out and be a very big eyesore. So I'm working right now on trying to figure out the best way to route it so I can kind of hide it a little bit. So I found a door hinge that I want to use for for the pedal, but it's a bit on the stiff side. So I'm just going to take a little wedge and cram it in between the metal and the rolled part and see if we can open it up a bit. Kind of loosen things up. Yeah. Because my plan is that I'm going to put the throttle on the console at low, and that way the governor will try to keep the speed low and kind of act like a return spring. Okie dokie. We are nice and floppy. moves back and forth with ease. So let's figure out how to install it on the mower. And we're back for hopefully the last day in this episode. I went ahead and did some assembly of the pedal and drilled a hole in our governor linkage, which should allow us to use the gas pedal for our accelerator. I did not find a good routing for the cable, as you can see. So it's pretty hideous right now, but we'll just call this a trial phase. And here's our pedal. Went ahead and mounted the hinge to the footboard with some good old self-tapping screws. Same thing on the pedal side. Yep, looks nice and safe. We'll pretend this is temporary, but it's most likely permanent. In order to get we've been sick. Our whole house. Of course, 'tis the season. That's why I sound congested, and that's why this video has taken forever for me to get out. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. In order to get like a decent amount of push out of this, I had to mount this way down low because the throttle over there has a short throw on it, or a short stroke, I guess you could say, whatever you prefer. So I mounted the cable way down here. That'll give us lots of good foot pushage. And then we're probably just going to zip tie this violently right here to keep it in place. And then I have a feeling I'm going to need a return spring as well. All right, got some zip ties here. Now I also have the throttle over here in the full open position, which means I want this to be full throttle right here. Oh, that might just work. Yeah, that may be a little more pedal travel than I really wanted. But it does get to full throttle. Let's see, how's that ergonomically? Probably pretty bad. Not really. So that's idle right there. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. Guess we'll have to move the cable up. That's the only way to decrease the amount of travel that we have to do here. There's this little offshoot over here. I thought it was kind of convenient that I could fit the cable right in there like that, but yep, ain't gonna work. So let's just move it up here in this general vicinity. Woo! Do a little milling work with the side of a drill bit. That's what you're supposed to do, right? Move the whole cable and bring it up there. Okay, well, time to wrench these zip ties down a little tighter. Okay, well, that was a little too much security, and I just bashed my head into a bolt. That's gonna leave a mark. Scoop these babies up for a steamy $8 on the Rainforest site. They are flush cut side cutters. Can't use the D word anymore. Okay, crank for 30 seconds. Oh, what do you know? Got, I think 5 or 6 inches of snow last night. Gonna take care of the pony, and then I gotta clear the driveway for the missus. There she is. Got a big return spring on there. To keep it from going too far, we have a zip tie. Yes, this is thrown together quickly. Got a zip tie on there. It goes to full pedal, and it goes to mostly to idle. Okay, we'll see how long this lasts. Probably not very. That's okay. Let's go have fun. still alive. But I will say, it's not very happy. Oh, I just snotted on the phone. Lovely. Hi, bud. You ready for a snack? All right, well, I should probably get the snack before I try to let you out, huh? All right, here we go. Enjoy. Whew, it's chilly out here. Very windy. Wow, we got a lot of snow last night. Probably some drifting as well, but look at that. Anyway, let's hit the road, and then I got to go clear some snow in this lovely weather. Extreme. Not at all. Was it successful? Was this a good episode? Not one of my better ones. The Ultimower is turning out to be a minimower, I would say. I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping it'd go faster, but if I had to guess, there's probably an internal bypass in that hydrostatic transmission. So even if you rev it to the moon, I bet it's not going to go much faster than it does now, which is why people don't do this to hydrostats. I think Chud had the same issue with his. His was cavitating, actually. It was losing oil because it was spinning so fast. I guess it wasn't draining back, maybe? I don't know. But we did make the PTO drive work. I got to get a new switch for it. We got the gas pedal to work. How exciting. I have a new belt on the way. I have two different sizes. I ordered the stock size, and then I ordered one an inch longer because it's really tight on there. And I think that's partly what's loading the engine down, is that we're pulling on it really hard, and it may be side loading the crank. I don't know, but anyway, we got it to work. It was fun. It was a challenge. I think the next episode for you guys is going to be snot everywhere. Hopefully, I think on the next episode I'm gonna take apart. No, I'm probably not. I don't know what I'm going to do for the next episode. It's either going to be this again, which I think some of you are tired of. The first of the Ultimower series was pretty good. Got like 800 to 1,000 views. I know that's not a lot, but for this channel, it's a pretty good amount. So, but it's dwindled since. But the second episode didn't do so great. Oh well. Still out here having fun with those of you that decide to tune in. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'm going to go battle the snow. But I need to change my shoes because my feet are very cold. We'll see you in the next episode right here on the Tractor Fella channel. All right. High five.